we're going down to the building. I said, "Sir, can we fast?" I speak in Tagalog. Hindi ko na kaya, tutumba na ako. I cannot breathe, I have no oxygen. We reached from the ER, my saturation down to 60. And then Sir Arnold, they call it Tagalog, bombahin ng nebulization. Give an full nebulization, at least I can recover. Then Dr. Salam, our ICU doctor, went for ER to check me up. And then when everything is a process, I go to the ICU. And then all of my co-workers looking at me. One of my friend, Rachel, she's crying when she's admitting me. And then Rovel, thank you for that day. For my my seniors, I know I am a difficult patient. I'm always telling them, sige lang, kuha lang kayo ng dugo, gawin nyo lang ang gusto nyong gawin. Okay lang sa akin. One more, huwag nyo lang gagawin. Don't intubate me. That's the worst thing. I know what will happen. Even though I am young, I don't know what will happen if they intubate me. They will paralyze me and everything. Every day, they do chest x-ray for me and they always say, "Glenn, you're doing okay and fine." But I said, "Iloloko nyo lang ako. I saw my chest x-ray every day. It's getting worse. My lungs become clear. Literally, become white." So during my admission of the ICU, it's a long process, almost 2 months. I went out to the hospital September 3, August and then September. September 3 is still, I have a shortage of breath. I cannot breathe. I tell again to my supervisor and my head nurse, "Sir, can you adjust and send more my leave? Because still I cannot walk. Even going to my room, getting up, still I have a shortage of breath." And allow me with this one to specially thank to Dr. Ramona Hussein. During my admission to ICU, she went there. He saw me from the isolation room. "Glenn, I believe in you. You can do it." That's the only one thing I was stressed. And Sir Edwin also is doing like that. I know deeply in my heart, I don't know how to thank all of you, especially for the ICU nurses. They give bathing for me and everything. Literally, I cannot do it on my own. Even toothbrushing, I cannot. This is the worst thing of my life. I told to them, nurse pa man din ako, hindi ko matulungan yung sarili ko. I'm telling, I am a nurse, I can't help myself. Just to pray. Even my family don't know in the Philippines. They should only know when I get out. September 3, they just found out. It's just maala-ala mo kayo magpakailanman yung story. We're doing a video call and then we're client. What is the most important thing here? During you are in the depressed of yourself, support system is the most number one. Especially for your colleagues and friends. Literally. And then, proning also helps me. That's what I said, huwag niyo akong i-intubate. And then Michael, one of my friend, ICU nurse, "Glenn, kailangan mong bumaliktad on lateral position, even though it's hard, because you will be attached with many electrodes on your chest and everything." And then, every time I do that one, I do, Diyos ko Lord, ito na po ba yun? I literally pray also for my father and all my friends who died. Wag muna. May business pa ako. I have my own business here while I'm still here. And give me strength to be alive.
Literally.
No words I can express. But thank you all. Especially for the ICU nurses. And also for Dr. Sala, he will be always part of my heart. He always chat me, text me, "Glenn, how is your feeling today?" He's giving information for me and everyone. And to the Ate Jenny is one of our environmental cleaner. She's always doing cooking for me. Even though I cannot taste, I'm always telling, "Ate Jenny, ang sarap ng luto mo. Gusto ko, even those days na wala akong panlasa, kailangan kong kainin. Kasi nahihiya ako na they do everything for me to be alive and still, kailangan kong gawin ang nararapat para mabuhay. Still, I'm young. Okay? And then, with this experience, I firmly believe that we all need to take good care of ourselves. We must properly handle COVID-19 patients. The next patient will be us. So, vitamins will do. Proper sleep, stress. So, please stress, don't us. Sa Tagalog, what ako. And then, remember resilience within each of us. Let us protect and care of each other to remain safe of well. And for those who might be going through the COVID-19 days, may we all God soon. Again, I am Mr. Ernie Glenn Salonga, a Filipino, a registered nurse, an ICU nurse, and a COVID survivor. Thank you, everyone.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the inspirational and very courageous sharing, Mr. Glenn Salonga. Really, COVID-19 is an unprecedented event, something that we never thought would happen in our lifetime, right, Rusty?
Yes.
One thing that that comes to mind when Mr. Glenn Salonga was sharing his experience with COVID-19, Rusty, was the recent death of our beloved President Noynoy Aquino. And my mother and I were talking one day, and we said he was very blessed. He had the means, he had the money. He could have gone abroad and had himself treated. But of course, what is the will of God is the will of God. But you know what, Rusty? I honestly told my mother one thing. I said to her, one of the things I guess that would determine whether we survive COVID or any experiences, terrible experiences in our lives, is our willingness to live, to just appreciate being here at the moment, you know? And I looked at my husband and we constantly fight. For those who are weak of heart, don't get married. But I love him all the more. So, you know, I looked at him and I was like, yeah, why would we fighting with him for such silly things? We are here today, we are gone tomorrow. Live life.
Yes.
Just be happy. And this is a gift. Life is a gift, right, Rusty? We have to fight for it. So everyone, can you please join Rusty and I when we say fight COVID?
Fight.
Can we declare it is defeated?
It is defeated.
Thank you so much. And now, Rusty, may we move on to our program?
Now, may we welcome on stage the Director General, Engineer Oliver B. Cayetano, to introduce our keynote speaker.
Vlogger na rin si Sir. Mag-vlog na rin si Sir. Ay, po tayo, ma'am. Dito, ano ba?
Thank you, Ms. Berna.
Pinapahirapan natin mga sarili natin eh.
Good afternoon. I will never forget the first time I introduced the ambassador 2 years ago, before the pandemic. And today, we are pleased to welcome His Excellency Ambassador Ronto.
Nandito si Sir Oliver, Sir? Sir Oliver na.
Born on March 1,
bago natin
1959,
konsulta.
in Manila, Philippines,
Halos kalahati ng
Ambassador Ronto belonged to the illustrious
nabibigyan natin ng discount
of the
sila
Northern Soup.
15%
As the
sa
seventh
lahat
child
ng
of
member
former
ng
Senator
OFW sa kanay ko
Dr. Ahmad
Ah,
Lumagaw Alonto and Hadia Cordelia Villaluna Alonto. Adnan grew up in a highly politicized environment with several of his close relatives holding high political offices. His father, Dr. Alonto, was a highly regarded Muslim leader who was credited for the passage of historic laws that benefited cultural minorities, indigenous people, and Muslims in his home country. As one of the founding member and former constituent council member of Rabita al-Alam al-Islami, means Muslim World League, Dr. Alonto also holds the distinction of being the lone Muslim Filipino winner of the much coveted King Faisal Award for service to Islam in 1988. Against the backdrop of the towering figure of his father, Ambassador Alonto pursued his passion of law, for the law, public service, and cost-oriented advocacies earlier on his life. This led him to earn his political science and degree and law degrees, and eventually become the member of Philippine Bar in 1986. As a lawyer, Ambassador Alonto developed expertise handling civil and criminal law, as well as corporate and labor law cases. As advisor, confidant, and ghostwriter to his father, Adnan is adept at issues involving the struggles of the Muslim in the Philippines and the Islamic world. In 1995, Ambassador Alonto, together with his family, moved to the United States, where he continued his legal profession, working in prominent American law firms and companies. While in the U.S., he developed keen interest in labor and migration issues, information technology, trends, and contemporary international and world events. Moved by his desire to serve his country, Ambassador Alonto returned to the Philippines in 2016 and accepted his nomination from the Philippine President as Ambassador of the Republic of the Philippines to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Republic of Yemen. Ambassador Alonto arrived in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia together with his wife, Ernest C. Alonto, on November 15, 2017. He presented an open copy of his credential as Philippine Ambassador to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to His Excellency Dr. Nizar bin Ubaid Madani, Minister of State of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on November 30, 2017. Ambassador Alonto presented his credential to the custodian of two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, on March 5, 2018. With that, I ask that you give your full attention and help me in welcoming him to the stage. His Excellency Adnan Villaluna Alonto.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Oliver. Thank you very much for the two MCs. We've been doing a heck of a job this afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magandang gabi na ba? Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.
Tanghali pa lang, sir.
Good evening to all of you. Our Director General, my good friend, Dr. Bader. Of course, our Director Mona has had a very good stories to tell here in this hospital. The officials of the OFW Congress, thank you for the invitation. Magandang gabi din sa inyong lahat. It's been a pleasure to be invited here and talk to you a little bit about what's going on with the Filipino community. And it's really all about the unsung heroes of the pandemic. And with your permission, may I remove my my mask for a little bit because I'm having difficulty breathing in it while talking. So when I got this invitation, I did not hesitate to accept the same, given the importance of the import of it. We are honoring the very heroes of that terrible pandemic that we are in now. And I can't help but just remember scenes and images of the lockdown that took us 4 months. And you and I know that there were a lot of challenges that we have undertaken during that lockdown. I remember that the embassy, the entire embassy was in full force trying to make do with the restrictions, and we were trying to figure out how we can help our people who are stranded in their accommodations. And as some of the speakers have mentioned, a lot of our people have run out of food, not to mention lost their jobs, lost their capacity to send money and remit a good portion of their salaries back home. For us Filipinos, this is unacceptable. The reason why Filipinos work passionately in every single industry or career here in Saudi Arabia and in other parts of the world is because we have one thing that we can be proud of. We love our families too much. We love our families, and we will do anything and everything to make sure that our family back home get a comfortable life. So that's how we are. And one other thing, specifically for our healthcare workers, one quality of Filipino healthcare workers is that TLC, tender loving care, is innate in us. Likas po yan sa atin. And that's our advantage, our competitive edge, if you will. I mean, not to denigrate other nationals, but I'm just telling you the truth. We have our healthcare workers so in demand in the world. Our labor attaché here, by the way, who is has distinguished himself for having turned around the operations of Polo in a short period of time. I can say, and I dare say, that our Philippine Overseas Labor Office is one of the most responsive Polo has ever been after my incumbency, and I've been here for more than 3 years. And our Philippine Overseas Labor Office is transferring into